This is Karita Parks at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida, where the Baltimore Ravens just punched their ticket into the playoffs with a 23-7 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. This was a game that was really close in the first half, but the Ravens were able to start to pull away in the second half. We also saw a lot of Lamar Jackson magic. He was able to escape from the pocket, escape from tackles, and just make unbelievable plays and do what Lamar Jackson does. After the game, I asked Kyle Hamilton, what's it like to have him as a leader? And Kyle said he makes it really tough for defenses, and I'm just happy he's on my team and that I don't have to play against him. Also, Lamar Jackson, he is happy to be in the playoffs, but also said that he didn't know prior to the game that if they beat Jacksonville, they would make it into the playoffs. He said he just wanted to win. And earlier in the season, Jackson told me that each game is a championship game to him, and it sounds like that was no different against the Jaguars. Also, defensively, we have to give some credit to Justin Madubuike. He has 11 straight games with at least a half a sack. Today, he had a strip sack in a pivotal moment on Trevor Lawrence, and that makes him tied for the sack record in NFL history with those 11 straight games. He said post-game that it still hasn't sunk in for him. Madubuike is so young in his career. He has so much more growing to do, so it'll be very exciting to see where he goes. At this point, even though the players are happy to know that they reached the goal of making the playoffs, they're looking ahead to their next matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, who are on a roll right now. And while the Ravens made the playoffs, they are still needing to win so that they can fight for that bye week and the number one seed in the AFC. This is Karita Parks with Bowie Television. Be sure to follow us for all your Ravens content.
That played well. Kind of a playoff type environment that we were in. The place was rocking, man. It was loud, it was full. It was a night game here. I think it might have been the first Sunday night game here in a while. And they were into it, their team was into it, and we had to play a really good football game, a playoff style football game to win. And that's kind of how it played out, that kind of a football game, which we expected. So proud of our guys for the win. A lot of guys played really well. Of course, there's things we can do better, but that's a big win. So we'll get a day or two, and then we'll be on to San Francisco. We do have some injury announcements. Keaton is going to be a serious injury, knee injury, so it looks like he won't be back for the rest of the season. Marcus is going to be kind of day-to-day probably. We'll see. We'll know more tomorrow, but that looks like it'll probably be day-to-day. Is there anybody else? Ronnie, think will be okay. Those guys will be looked at concussion-wise. We'll see how that plays out. What questions do you have?
John, you said last week that Lamar played that game as well as What do you say about
I stand
this?
corrected. What do you stand corrected? He played even better. He played even better this week. It's could give Lamar Jackson our game ball every single game. He wouldn't take him. He wouldn't know everywhere to put him in his house. But that's the way he plays. That's just. I think I've said it before. I believe he's the best quarterback in the National Football League. I've said it many times before, and he continues to prove it. He proves me right. He proves he took the game over in so many different ways, all the different ways he does it. But some spectacular throws. Handled the game plan. We had a lot of no huddle stuff. We had a lot of plays at the line we were switching to and calling and changing around. We had a lot of motions and shifts they had to deal with, and then the play clock comes into factor there. Nobody's better handling the play clock than Lamar Jackson, managing the game, but also making the plays. So just very proud of him, obviously.
John, over the years, do you develop any sort of, are you kind of experiencing the thrill ride of seeing Lamar, escape from the pocket or kind of make it a juke and sort of, there's this element where he's kind of always close to the danger or kind of escaping from danger. Do you develop sort of a resistance to that, or are you kind of go along for the ride with us?
I just think it's simple. You have it gets a player's game. You know, and as a coach, you know, coaches get a lot of credit sometimes for things that they really don't do. You know, and if you're a good coach, you build your system and your plays and your schemes and everything, your operation basically around your players. Players are the guys out there playing the game. We have a great football player in Lamar Jackson, and not just Lamar. So many guys just like that you try to build it around. So if we're smart, we try to build our offense in a way that Lamar can thrive in it as best we can figure out. You know, and he's a big part of that. He's involved in all the game planning every single week. You know, and has input and helps decide those plays. So. But you know what? He's out there just playing the game, and that's what the game is. You go out there and you play the game like that.
John, you rushed for over 200 yards, I believe, in the second half. What was the kind of the difference in really getting the run game ramped up?
204, as it was pointed out to me in the locker room, and I think 251 overall. I think we just kind of kept coming, you know, and after a while it had its impact. You know, our guys were blocking really well, backs were running really well, and Lamar had a number of yards as well. So. Yeah, it was a big factor in the fourth quarter too. We had a bunch of yards, maybe 100 in the fourth quarter, something like that. So it was good.
By the way, John, your team actually clinched a playoff berth.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, no, we're very grateful. We're very excited about that, and that's the first step. That's our starting point goal, you know, and we'll go from there.
Jacksonville kind of had these moments, especially at the end of the first half, where they run out of time, and I think there was another play where you guys kind of quick snapped it and got them with 12 men on the field. What do you make of your guys' poise in some of those moments, as there was a lot of chaos, and being able to take advantage?
Both sides of the ball. You know, Lamar again in the offense doing a great job substitutions, and that becomes part of the game within the game, and Lamar catching them there and getting that penalty. And then look at Marcus Williams play at the end of the half. You know, Mike made a great call. Marcus makes a great play. Tackle their guy around the flat route in bounds, a play we had anticipated. It's just a play people run that situation and with no huddle, and Marcus made a great play, and that saved us right there, at least a field goal. It's just a fabulous play. There were other plays like that in the game. How about Isaiah Likely? I mean, the catches that he made. You know, how about Arthur Millette, getting that fumble early in the game and really turning the momentum a little bit. So you know, they got some yards in the first half, but we made plays we needed to make to keep them out of the end zone.
John, is the plan right now Melvin Gordon up on the roster, or is it? Is that what you foresee yourself doing?
Yes. Yeah, we'll bring Melvin up. He's been working super hard. He's in great shape, and he'll be ready to go.
How difficult, though? I mean, when Keaton was just starting to get up, I mean, for him to suffer that injury, you know, how difficult do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. You know, I mean, he's the guy that I was just in there. We were just in there, you know, and we were talking and we prayed. And he's just got a great attitude and demeanor about him. And, you know, it's a guy that you want to see do well. He deserves to do well. And just feel for his parents right now. You know, they're watching and I'm sure they're feeling it too.
Lamar, can you talk about the play when you kind of escaped the sack and then threw the long pass to Isaiah Likely, just kind of what you saw in that play, and for Isaiah to go up and make that play in that situation?
Different quarters. End of the quarters when we had verts going little stick nods, and I don't know if it was 91. I'm gonna say right side. You know, he just made a good play. You know, beat our guy. I just had to make a play, make something happen, and I seen Likely. If I believe if he wasn't so free, Likely would have scored because I already seen him, but I couldn't throw it because 91 rushing, and I don't want to have a fumble happen. So, you know, I just made something happen, and I seen him. I see 31 flying under. I'm like, bro, if I try to drive it, it's gonna be an interception, and I already threw one, so I was pissed off. So it's like, just get Likely a shot. You know, I know he can jump a little, so it's like, you give him a shot, and he made a play, great play.
Lamar, what goes through your head when you're dropping back and you face pressure and you're ducking under people, scrambling around? The whole scramble part, what goes through your head?
Make something happen, make a positive play. You know, I'm not trying to get sacked, but I'm also trying to keep the ball safe at the same time. That's the most important thing, playing offense and points. So we were dropping the ball down the field, like, you know, it can't mess up. If anything, we can't score, you know, Tucker kick a field goal, points matter in all these games.
I think people were amazed by the way you're just dodging around rushers and buying more time. Do you feel calm when that's happening all around you? Like, what are your emotions?
I look calm. Not be looking
You look pretty
calm.
calm.
Nah, you know, just keeping a level head. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to make a mistake. I'm trying to just keep us with positive yards, keep us moving. You know, and that's what we had to do tonight.
Last week, you kind of, throw over 300 yards, kind of pass first offense look. This second half tonight, over 200 yards in that second half alone. Did it feel like you're kind of going back to the team you used to be? Does it feel like this team has gears you can kind of shift between?
I mean, I believe they were prepared, for our pass. They rushed, their guys would just rush, clogging up the line and stuff like that. So, can't make our reads and progress sometimes. But I believe we left some plays out on that field because if I'd throw a better pass to Bateman in the end zone, it would have been a touchdown, so I'm pissed off about that as well. But we got dubbed, we clinched the playoffs, so I'm happy a little bit about that.
We know when Mark's out there, you're always looking out for him. Do you feel like Isaiah, that relationship, especially the number of catches he's made in the last 3 games, do you think he's becoming that for you right now?
I mean, Mark and Likely 2 different players, but both of them bring, greatness to the game. And we already knew what Likely was capable of, but nobody's like Mark and nobody's like Likely.
Lamar, you kind of touched on it, but how does it feel to reach that first goal of getting to the playoffs and then also having the fans chant MVP as you came off the field tonight?
Man, first of all, Fire Nation was in the building. I should have been shouted the fans out. They was wonderful tonight, for us. But I didn't know we clinched the playoffs. I'm just trying to win. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to win the game at a time, But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the opportunity.
When Mark was injured, your coach was saying every single person on the offense needed to step up because he's not a guy that one person can. How have you felt everyone, not just the tight ends, step up to fill his absence?
Yeah, our guys, we've been had those guys. We got Bateman. Bateman is that guy. We got Odell, he's that guy. Zay, that guy. Nelly, that guy. We got guys who gonna step up. They just need an opportunity. That's all.
How tough was it to see Keaton go down? What's kind of the mood of the team?
So that was very tough, because I believe that was gonna be a touchdown. He's lights out, man. He was just starting to get started. So that's tough to see. So my thoughts and prayers are with him because he a guy. That was a crazy injury.
You do one more for Lamar.
We just getting started, man. So we're happy about it, but we're not satisfied.
Roquan, did you know that, playoff was a winning you're in type situation, or like Lamar, where you kind of, was that out of sight, out of mind for you?
Well, no, I'm pretty locked in all the time, just thinking 1-0 for each and every week. But, obviously I have friends and family that say things to me like, oh, you guys win, you guys are in the playoffs. So I hear that, but, it's big time, love being in the playoffs. But, that's part of it, but we're not done.
Roquan, the Jags were able to kind of move the ball between the 20s, but a lot of those red zone possessions, the turnovers, the stopping them with Glenn run out of clock at the end of the half. How do you feel like the defense bowed up in some of those red zone situations tonight?
Yeah, man, I think that's what we do. Bend and don't break. And the biggest thing in this game, it's not yards, anything like that. It's about how many points you score, because that's what wins games. You can go out there and run for 500 yards, throw for 300, and then you score 3 points. What good is that, So just thinking about it from that perspective, us as a defense, we bend, don't break. But, we just trying to impose our will on people week in and week out. And obviously those guys, I heard their little motto this week was like, takes a bully or something like that. I overheard that, saying they wanted to be a bully. That was their thing this week. So, hey, I guess the bully get hits in the mouth sometimes, and, how do they respond? But, it's a great team win.
Roquan, did last year's game, Patrick Queen brought it up this week. Was that discussed in the meeting rooms, or did that kind of stick in your craw a little bit, knowing how that game went down in the fourth quarter?
Honestly, man, it didn't have to be discussed in the meeting room. I think amongst ourselves, each and every guy, including the coaches, we knew everything that was at stand, and we knew we didn't finish the game last year, but it's a whole different year than this year and a whole different team the way we wanted to. But like for the guys that was on the team, some of us, it was definitely personal. So, we came in to their house and we got the job done.
Roquan, I know when you go to sidelines, a lot of times you're focused on defense, adjustments, things like that. Are you able to, like tonight, see Lamar out there and how he escapes pressure and things like that?
Yeah, it's pretty unique, man. I'm glad he's on my team. I'll say that at least. But some of the things the guy do, man, he's the only one that's doing it. Because some of the things he get himself out of or get the team out of, that just goes to show, man. He put it on his back, put the city on his back, put the team on his back, and say, let's go. And we all about it.
Justin Madubuike tying the sack streak record. Do you guys kind of celebrate with him in any way as defense, and just what makes him so special as a rusher?
Honestly, I had no idea about it until it was in locker room when Harbs just mentioned it, but like, man, Beaks, we kick it, man, all during the week. The way he worked throughout the week, even out of the building, man, I'm just so proud of the guy. Guy just put his head down, don't really say a lot, but bust his tail day in and day out. You can't do anything but respect him, and I think the guy can do all. If you're running games with him, he's elite. If you just want him to rush the pass, he can do that run game. The guy can strike blockers, guards, whatever the case may be, and he's shredded. You ever seen the guy with his shirt off? The guy look like a wild animal. Like, I wish I looked like that, you know. But he's shredded, and I see why he's able to do some of the things he do, and I'm just proud to be his teammate.
Real quick, there's a lot of talk this week about Kyle Hamilton's status. Did he show you anything this week with his toughness and wanting to make sure that he was out on the field today?
Man, I got the utmost respect for Kyle. That guy's a fucking warrior. Like, the way he came out there, everything he's been going through this season, man, and just the way he forgot about it all and just said, hey, I'm gonna put it all on the line for us. And like, when you think about that, that's like the ultimate teammate that you want in the locker room. A guy that's willing to sacrifice himself for the betterment of the team, knowing if he was good enough to go, he was gonna go. And I'm just proud of him, and he's a tough guy. But you know, that's how they raise him down in Georgia.
Thank you.
So on that note, just, you know, how important was it for you to play, even given the injury from last week? How important was it for you to get out there?
Yeah, I mean, my parents always raised me that if you can go, go. So I felt like I could go, and throughout the week got better. Felt decent Friday, and then it was just up to me whether I felt like pain tolerance was good enough. Went out there before the game. Had some pain. It was really just pain management throughout the game. So, you know, adrenaline was going and everything, so feel good.
I think you had a early, maybe first drive ball where you blew up the screen. Was that kind of when you kind of felt like, okay, this pain ain't nothing? Or
Yeah. Maybe the first couple plays I was maybe babying a little bit, but after that, I think I kind of trusted it after that.
What does it mean to clinch the playoff spot?
It's dope. I mean, it's the beginning of what we want to do. Not the end goal, obviously, but I think we just keep building, and I don't think we're even close to how good we can be. So, you know, everybody stepping up, injuries, people going down. It's a team effort.
Big games coming up, you know, obviously 49ers and the Dolphins, you know, these are playoff-like games, right? To be in a playoff atmosphere like tonight was against a very good team and get that win, does that sharpen you for kind of what's ahead and the playoffs?
Yes and no. I mean, it's always good getting wins against good teams, and that was a good team. At the same time, you know, playoffs is different, and people play different in playoffs. It's win or go home, so you never know who you're going to get. So, I mean, we got to be prepared for anybody.
It seemed to be really pivotal at the end of the half when they ran out of clock, and after getting a big completion, getting all the way down the goal line. What do you kind of remember about that and the defense's poise in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, we just given up a big play, and for us to get lined up, you know, Rowe give us the call, and everybody gets set, and Marcus makes a great tackle on the sideline, keep the clock running, and fortunately they ran out of time, and that was a big stop for us going into halftime. You know, kept them at, I think, 0 at that point, going into halftime, and you know, that's a good offensive team over there, and I think we did a good job overall, and still stuff to improve on, though.
Kyle, Lamar tends to just make something out of nothing. What's it like having him as the leader of this team?
Yeah, I remember on the sideline just watching him. He had a bunch of crazy plays tonight, but one play I just leaned over, I think Gino or somebody, I was like, that dude's special. Like, I'm glad we don't have to play him, because it should be so frustrating as a defense. You know, you got him bottled up, and out of nowhere he scrambles, and dude's back there covering for 10 seconds, and it's hard to do that in this league, and guys getting open and making plays. He presents a lot of problems for defenses, and I'm glad he's on our team.
I know we sometimes tend to think of quarterbacks apart from other players. I mean, they have different roles, harder to touch them, but I think the way Lamar kind of plays and running into, you know, going on the run and running out of danger, does he kind of play like a football player, not just a quarterback? Does that make sense?
I think he definitely plays like a quarterback in the sense that what a quarterback needs to do is deliver the ball on time, accurate, run the offense well, make checks, everything a quarterback that you would typically think of. It's just everything else is a plus, and that's what makes him so good. That's what makes him the best in this league. Honestly, I think there's nobody that can do what he does, and arm talent-wise, his legs, obviously, it's just he's a different breed, and something we haven't even seen in the sport ever, I don't think. So, you know, I'm glad he's on my team.
What does it mean to you to make history tonight?
I don't think he really hit me yet. It feels good. It feels good, especially when we get the win with it. But I'm just out there trying to make plays, help my team win. That's just what the bottom line is. And I'm glad both happened. We got to win and make plays. But all glory to God, honestly. There's a lot of hard work in the offseason, just a lot of sacrifices being made and just paying off. But the season ain't over. It ain't done yet.
After the sack on the bench, it looked like you were having a lot of laughs with some teammates and stuff like that. Can you take us in some of those conversations?
It was a lot of conversations. So I don't know which one you want me to talk about, but just everybody was just congratulating me, just telling me how proud they am of me and just making plays and stuff like that. And I was hyped up, man. I was just hyped up because we were winning and people were making plays. Art, myself, Marlo, B. Steve, everybody was making plays. So great team win, honestly.
What does this streak feel like for you emotionally? I mean, is it kind of just hard to wrap your head around that you're getting so many sacks, or what?
Kind of, but every game I tell myself I'm just trying to get back there at least one time. And after the one time, like, I want to get there again and again and again and again. But it's just a lot of hard work pays off, and I'm not doing it.
What does it mean for the Ravens? They clinch a playoff spot tonight. So
Huge. That's the expectation, honestly. We go out every game and with the intention to win. That's what we did today, and we're going to playoffs. That's what we're good. I know everybody's happy about that, but the job's not finished though. We have the next opponent, so we're gonna celebrate this for 24 and get back to work. Honestly,
what's it mean to you? I mean, some of the other guys you're tied with for the record now. I mean, Jared Allen, Chris Jones, Trey Hendrickson. I mean, these are some really good players and have been for a long time. To be in their company, what does that kind of mean to you?
It's huge. Those are guys that I watched film on when I was a rookie, when I was in second year and third year. I watched film on. I just wanted to just keep elevating my game every year, and it's showing now. Which I'm in conversation with those guys, and it's huge. And it just makes me more hungry to want to stay there. It makes me more hungry to want to keep working harder. My mom would just text me and call me like, congratulations. Just like, nah, Mom, this is just the beginning. I love this. I love this game. I love playing with these guys. I love this team. It's great.
So is Chris Jones the one you watch a lot of film on? Or
Chris, Aaron Donald, obviously. Fletcher Cox a little bit. Just a lot of guys. A lot of guys do different things well, and I just try to emulate it, put my little spin on it, and try to bring my own.
Cool. Justin, how much has the fact that you guys are about to play the 49ers and it's going to be prime time game with a lot of hype, has that even crossed the radar, or is it still, like you said, 24-hour rule?
24-hour rule, like he just said, the next game, I didn't even know who we were playing, but yeah, the 49ers, yeah, they're a good team. They have one of the best backs in the league. Good quarterback. I'm excited for it. I know y'all are excited for it too. It's gonna be a great game. Yeah.
Thank you.
It did take time to learn how to kind of keep moving when Lamar's doing his thing, kind of getting out of the pocket, escaping.
Yeah, I feel so. That's just repetition, and I feel like now I got a good idea where he should be most of the time when he's back there being Lamar.
Do you feel like a play is never dead, basically?
Never. I mean, y'all seen it when he threw the ball. I didn't know he broke 3 tackles before he threw the ball. Before seeing the video, but that's just Lamar. Make it happen. Nothing's up.
What's going through your head when 2 defenders closing in and he falls in the air? What's going through your mind?
I didn't see the one behind me, but the golden rule is if you wave your hand trying to get the quarterback's attention, you got to come down with the ball. So that's definitely what went through my head.
It's 2 weeks in a row now for you, huh? Waving to get Lamar.
Yeah, got to.
What was the feeling in the huddle in the third quarter when we started to get downhill with the run game? You kept getting big chunks of yards in the run game. Did you kind of get the feeling that you were kind of breaking them a little bit?
The emphasis was really just that one play mentality. I mean, never to always look for the home run shot, and we knew they were a good team. We knew that was going to take all 4 quarters. So really just staying true to who we was, and they're working in our favor.
You said this week that you want to make some of those gritty catches, right? Those contested catches like Mark has made so many times. To make that play near the goal line, what does that do for you?
I mean, it just put stress on Lamar. I mean, to be able to throw in those tight windows still, and really just be able to still have that outlet, when going against rough.
Thank you.
It was fun. When
number is called upon us that we got to be reliable, and I think we did a good job at that today.
Is there kind of a sick feeling in your stomach seeing Keaton go down despite the win?
Yeah, man. It's kind of hard to be excited about clinching and everything, just because he was a big part of our team. You know, he's made a lot of plays for us, but like I said, we got to rally around him. You know, as far as like just being there for him. I know it's going to be an emotional ride, and he's built for it, but we got to be around him and just share positivity his way.
Nothing new for you, obviously, to step into a lead role. Just how do you feel like tonight's kind of momentum and you really kind of picking up steam in the second half kind of helps you moving forward?
We ended the game well, running the ball wise. I think it's something for us to build on, and hopefully it's just uphill from now on for the round.
Gus, how does it feel to clinch a playoff spot?
It feels good. We've been working all season for that, but it's still a lot more work to be done.
Still boggles your mind when you see him escape pressure the way he was tonight?
No, it doesn't. I hate to say that, but he's become such a just baller, like magician, that it's kind of normal now. Even though it's to the fans, everyone else is probably crazy. But we're just like, wow, he just escaped like 5 people. Like, nice. So, but I love seeing it. Obviously, good play.
What does this defensive performance do for you guys? Obviously, you know they left some points out there at the end of the half and all that, but to hold a good Jaguars team, a good quarterback to 7 points, I mean, that says something.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's really big. I think it's hard. I think Trevor Lawrence is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. To hold them to that was pretty big. I know they had some stuff that they left out there, but it's kind of the thing. Once you get to the goal line, you can blow up. You can have big success. So to hold that team, I think will give us some good momentum going in San Fran.